A.J. Brown barely escaped a collision during the Eagles charity event yesterday. Hear what he said and why we can all luckily breathe a sigh of relief. And the Birds are excited about new Agent Zero, but reports suggest DeAndre Swift may not even be the starter. Plus, there's other rumors that Quez Watkins may be traded, which, according to Nick Sirianni, is completely false. So let's discuss it. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? I'm Josh and I cover the Birds. I hope you all had a great weekend and hopefully staying safe on the roads out there. In case you didn't catch it already, A.J. Brown was nearly hit by a car yesterday during the Eagles Autism Challenge event while live streaming on Instagram, which the immediate reaction was complete sheer terror. Thankfully, A.J. confirmed he was all right, saying, "I'm fine, everyone, LOL. Someone ran the stop sign. I didn't fall off my bike. I just dropped my phone and got out of the way. Stay safe, everyone."
Man, I almost got hit by a car. Hey, I'm really finna call me an Uber. Man, y'all saw that?
Now, thanks to some investigative reporting from fans, we now know what public enemy number one looks like.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
AJ also confirmed that he thought he saw a star on the license plate. Obviously, he's saying that in jest, so no need to go sharpening the knives and pitchforks, but would we really put it past Cowboys fans to try something like this? I don't know, but thank God Brown is okay, and as Eagles Nation shared, next year the All-Pro receiver will be attending with a bit more protection because after all, cycling just isn't for everyone.
My butt cheeks hurt, oh my God. 10 miles on a bike. I got way too much ass for that.
But, I'm sorry, the Eagles had a record-breaking year at the event, raising over $6.2 million, so congrats to everyone who supported and took part in the community event. Another outing that took place the day before was an Eagles field trip for several rookies where they got the chance to visit NFL Films in Jersey. It may not come as a surprise that Nolan Smith was full of emotion. And as the Philadelphia Eagles Twitter account said, Smith is a future producer in the making.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Checking in. TOC main line. How you doing?
How you doing, my friend? What's your name there?
Nolan Smith, outside linebacker at the Philadelphia Eagles, coming at you live.
God bless them Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, I know. God bless them, man. Go Dogs, too, as well.
And go Tigers.
Oh, I don't know about all that. Oh, man, you think that? No, I don't think so. We just wanted to give you some entertainment at the end of the day. We know it's been a long day, and it's 5:38, and we're just calling over from the NFL office and just wanted to say hello. Yes, sir, we're going to kick ass and take some names. That's what we do. Thank you for checking in and talking to us.
Oh, this is awesome.
He's definitely made himself a fan favorite in no time at all. How lucky are we that Howie listened to Nakobe Dean and drafted Nolan Smith? If you're not sure what I'm referencing, we got a behind-the-scenes look at how the draft process went down after Dean went on Good Morning Football and said, "I think Howie did a good job drafting those guys this year. I think he picked the best available guys. I don't think he's got a thing for Georgia players, especially being from Florida. I think he picked the best available guys. He called me a lot asking about those guys, Keely, Jalen, and Nolan. I want to feel like I had something to do with it. After the draft, I sent him a little go Dogs." Isn't that great? I mean, it's not like this is the first time Howie's done this, because remember when he got Jason Kelsey's thoughts on Cam Jurgens and he basically allowed Kelsey to help pick his eventual replacement? I think it just speaks to the special ingredients on this team and the trust, determination, understanding of what it takes to win. But despite winning the draft, Dean doesn't view it as a target on their back, saying, "We've got a lot of underdogs on the team, a lot of people who play with a lot of chips on their shoulders, so we'll never sit back and act like we're the one with the targets on our backs. We don't look at it like we've got the target on our back. We look at it like we're the ones out there hunting." And I'll go back with,
Hungry dogs run faster.
that's just the mentality you have to have, but I love it. The players on this team know what it takes to win, especially the ones coming from Georgia. Speaking of another Georgia player, we got a sneak peek of newly acquired running back DeAndre Swift and giant killer Boston Scott going through some light drill work last week, while the Eagles Twitter handler made it glaringly obvious that they're not familiar with controls, saying, "Press X for spin move." Maybe they're playing on alternate controls? It didn't take long before they realized their mistake, tweeting back, "Okay, we get it, it's circle or B." But as one fan pointed out, you gotta step up your game because Hurts is gonna be the cover of Madden 24, so we can't be slacking. To which I've only got one response to that.
No, God! No! God, please, no! No!
Because if you know anything about Madden, you know that you do not want your athlete on the cover. All right, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but let's get back to DeAndre Swift. Agent Zero is expected to have a breakout season behind the best offensive line in football, right? Well, maybe not, according to NFL.com's Greg Rosenthal, who projected the starters in Philly for the upcoming season, and believe it or not, he has Kenneth Gainwell as the listed starting running back, saying, the Eagles will likely rotate Rashaad Penny, DeAndre Swift, and Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield in an effort to keep them all healthy. But don't discount Gainwell winding up with the most touches. He's an ascending player who led the team's running backs in snaps in the Super Bowl and is the only one of the trio signed past 2023. But Rosenthal isn't the only one thinking Gainwell will be the guy, as NBC's Peter King is also incredibly high on Kenny G's expectations this year.
And this is going to sound odd, because I don't even think he's going to get the first carry for his team. But one of the reasons that the Eagles are not really stressing what happened to them last year is Kenneth Gainwell played well down the stretch. He played very well in the playoffs, and he proved that he can handle more of the load than he had ever been asked to handle in Philadelphia. I think you're going to see Kenneth Gainwell this year become, if not a sole number one, I think he's going to be close to a co-number one in a talented stable of running backs in Philadelphia.
Wow, that's an interesting point, but as SI.com made note, of the three options, Swift led the trio in snaps last year with 393 for the Detroit Lions, while Gainwell had 331 in Philadelphia, and Penny got 170 with the Seattle Seahawks. So while it's true that Swift had a few more snaps last season than Gainwell, King is right that Kenny G outplayed Sanders in the playoffs. And while I think we would all agree with that, do we think Gainwell will end up with the most snaps? Because let's also remember it was reported just a week ago that the Birds are open to an extension with Swift, and I have to imagine that Howie views Swift's potential as an RB1 if he can stay healthy. But are we overlooking Kenny G? What do you think? And I guess the better question may be, does it really matter? Because I feel like this will be a running back by committee approach with similar snap totals between Swift and Gainwell, and then Penny slightly behind those two, and more so probably due to injury. I'm hopeful that they can all stay healthy, but as we know, Swift and Penny have had some injury issues, and you can't have too many running backs in this league. So it may just be semantics, but what do you guys think? Do you agree with Rosenthal that Gainwell is the starter in week 1? Let's move on. Pro Football Focus released their top 25 players under 25 for the upcoming season, with skinny Batman Devonta Smith coming in at number 16, since Smith is on track to be one of the top young receivers in the game, if you don't already believe he's there. He recorded a 77.6 receiving grade in 2021 and took a nice jump to 81.1 in 2022 as part of the Eagles' offensive surge that propelled them to the Super Bowl. His passer rating when targeted was 113.9 with a low drop percentage of 5.2. He's already there, and I think 16 is a little low, but whatever. This season, Smitty's going to make the Pro Bowl. I'm calling it now, especially after A.J. Brown shared that he's been helping Devonta with his releases and fine-tuning some other aspects of his game. It won't shock me to see even bigger numbers than last season. But what do you guys think? What are your expectations for Smitty in year 3? And by the way, in case you were wondering where Jalen Hurts is on this list, Pro Football Focus said this was players who will be under 25 when the regular season starts. So with Jalen's birthday being in August, he isn't eligible. Although Landon Dickerson was eligible, but PFF didn't feel like he was worthy of a spot despite making the Pro Bowl last year.
How dare you?
That one seems pretty ridiculous to me. The other list from PFF that caught my eye over the weekend was the 30 best players over 30, and you'll be happy to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 Philadelphia Eagles made the list. Big Play Slay at number 29 thanks to his 84.5 and 77.3 grades in coverage the past 2 seasons while forcing 21 incompletions over that span. BG Brandon Graham at 13 because somehow he gets better with age, putting up elite pressure rates and monster sack numbers, recording a career best 12 last season, and finishing with his second highest graded season ever at 89.8. Lane Johnson at 11 since he hasn't given up a sack dating back to week 11 of the 2020 campaign and has given up just 20 since his rookie season back in 2013. And by the way, in case you hadn't heard, Lane broke the news himself on Thursday that he's officially cleared after having the adductor surgery and going through extensive rehab. Seems like he should have been higher on this list. Lastly, we have Jason Kelce Fat Batman, which I guess being the best center in the league is only good enough for number 10, but Kelce hasn't given up a sack since week 6 of 2021 and allowed just 12 hurries and no hits in 2022. He doesn't show any signs of slowing down anytime soon. All right, I've got the links below if you want to check them out, but what do you guys think? Where'd they get the rankings right and where'd they get them wrong? I'll help you out. James Bradbury, anyone?
Hello? Anybody home?
It's amazing how an all-pro can be left off of this list. It's just ridiculous. But while we're talking crazy, CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin says he believes the Eagles could trade Quez Watkins because after a solid 2021 season in his first year under Nick Sirianni, Watkins' speed didn't match his production as the number 3 behind A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith during the Eagles Super Bowl bid. His iffy hands could convince hyperactive GM Howie Roseman to offload him ahead of a contract year, saving an immediate $2.7 million. That's crazy talk. I know Howie is exploring all avenues, and yes, we did just bring in Olamide Zaccheaus as well as a plethora of other wide receivers, but it doesn't make sense to me because let's not forget, Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman are backing Quez with the head coach saying, "We have a lot of confidence in Quez, and I know he's going to come back. I know he's hungry, he's determined, he feels like he didn't have his best season." Now, he didn't get the opportunities, we've talked about this, he didn't get the opportunities that he had in the past, and so it's just taking advantage of the opportunities that he has. But Quez is our number 3 receiver. There will be competition for it, just like there was when Zach Pascal was here for different roles within that, but we're excited about Quez. And then Howie has also said nobody is down on Quez Watkins in this building. I guess you could make the case that Howie could be keeping the market warm for a potential trade if he actually doesn't believe in Quez, but I don't think so. I really think they still view Quez as a strong potential wide receiver 3 and won't be shopping him around. But what do you all think? Do you think Quez will get traded before the start of the season or at all? I certainly don't. This has been the Philly Special.